Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome back to Satisfactory. Now in the last episode, I set up a very basic little transport network, a sort of a closed circuit delivering ore into our brand new screw factory, and then delivering screws back to my very lonesome, but very hungry manufacturer. That manufacturer has been making heavy modular frames, and then we switched it to making computers. And I've let a little bit of time play in the background to really store all of that stuff up, all in service of finally getting the milestone for expanded power infrastructure. That's going to allow us to build the coveted fuel generators, vastly increasing our power capabilities, allowing us to further build more factories. And I'm super excited for it, genuinely really excited for this episode today. Two reasons really. We have a brand new update. One of the most striking features of the update is this gorgeous looking nebulous skybox that we've got, and then the not so gorgeous maybe floating planets that are going around us. I initially thought they were moons, but there's actually two of them, and it seems like we're the moon going around two other planets. And apparently there's two stars. So it's a planetary binary around a star binary, I think. Us astronomers will have to let me know. I'm not too sure. Either way though, it's a little bit of visual variety out in the sky to kind of look at, and every now and then, it's not every night, you'll kind of catch a glimpse of a spiral galaxy as well. Anyways, I digress. Another reason I'm excited is because for the longest time in all of these episodes, or at least for the last few episodes, I've been going, this is temporary, we just need to get more power, and then we can get going. But finally, we're here, and I put a lot of work into this episode. I've been planning out what this factory is going to be like. Holy crap, there's actually more than I bargained for there. 180, almost 100, almost 200 computers. Anyway, we only needed 100. We're going to need a couple more, I guess, to build the actual fuel generators. Let's just get our milestones done. So over on the right-hand side of the screen, we have our to-do list. Oil power facility is the headline. And then we're going to be unlocking the milestone for it right now, getting foundations, walls, building the generator room, the refiner room, and the packaging room. More of that will be explained later. So let's just toss this in here and achieve that milestone. Let's have a listen to what Ada has to say.
Milestone reached. The fuel generator will match power generation to the increased consumption of recently acquired technologies and buildings. Additionally, improved conveyor belts and lifts can now be constructed. Caterium scanning unlocked.
Nice. So we're after getting Caterium scanning, which of course we already got in the MOM, so no big deal there. Something I wanted to do before we get running is pick up all my tickets. These are all my tickets. I put the 30 I had in my box back into this one location. People said that you can dump your tickets onto the ticket itself, store them in one place, which is definitely a good idea. There's been a bunch of changes into the Awesome Shop as well. Basically just the organization of it has actually changed around. No pun intended, we're looking at organization right now. And a few things I wanted to get. Floodlights. That's standard AF, but what's not standard AF is the clean pipeline. These are brand new additions to the game. A clean pipeline basically means that the little divots on the pipe that show you whether or not it's flowing or has what it actually has inside of it doesn't show. It's just a standard clean pipe. Very cheap, only one ticket. We'll get it for both. I think it's an awesome addition. Don't know why I didn't think of it, but although I did kind of mention it just a few episodes ago when we were building that oil power rig, I think. I was like, oh, I can't change the color. I want like nicely colored pipes. And it expands out and has the color of whatever it is inside it. Heavy oil residue is a deep purple. And it's just a bit striking. If you want these clean pipes, now we have the options. Awesome. Sink. Shop. Speaking of, I did catch the comments saying that there's no need to be building inverted ramps on the upside down part of the regular ramps. You can just get a double ramp and that'll do the job for you. Not really sure why you need an inverted ramp then, other than just aesthetics, I guess. But thank you for that. I had no idea, but we can see it now. I want to pick up a gate. We're going to need that. I want to get the structural beam pack, which is going to let us have little metal and painted beams for aesthetics. Speaking of structures, in the frame set, there's a beautiful hidden away foundation in here, the glass frame foundation, which looks awesome. In my opinion, it should really be put into the categories with the other stuff for glass. But, it is here. I just didn't know about it. I remember thinking, like, I'm so sure there's a glass floor. And it's been here tucked under my nose the whole time. 10 tickets, though. It's quite expensive. Next one over, I want to get the coated concrete foundation. And that actually uses plastic to coat the foundation. And that's going to be it. How much is this going to come to? 30 tickets. Goddamn. We only have 13 left. We're basically poor again for tickets. And you guys wanted me to put one ticket into there and see what happened. Come on now. Alright, so with all of that stuff done, let's make our way up north. And I'm going to talk you through some of the stuff I've been doing in between episodes. Just gonna see if we can pick up anything out of this box, and then we'll get to work. Now, I don't know if it's actually part of this update or if it's always been there, but I noticed that in the sound options, you can actually individually change the sound volumes of loads of different things. Individual machines, sound effects, like the jetpack, for instance, I've toned down just because I use it a lot now. So I basically like just lowered the volume of that a little bit, and you can do it for loads of different things. Really nice addition. I don't know when that happened, but I just only noticed it again today. So what we're going to do is drive north up to the oil refinery and basically tear it all down. My plans, and I have it on a, just one sec. Oh my god. I can't believe people use their phones and drive. Because you cannot do two things at once. Anyway, I've just got a piece of paper in front of me here. And basically I have everything written down of all the different buildings and machines I want to use, the power it's going to consume, and what we should get out of it. Now, for the first time, I've done something I've never normally done. I've cheated. I haven't cheated in this save file specifically, but I made a copy of this save file, unlocked the milestone, and then had a look at like a bunch of different things to see like how big are these machines, what kind of layout for a factory we're going to get with, or go with. And I basically spent about 8 hours laying out the plans for what I'm going to be building. Now, what I'm going to be building is going to be slightly different than even the plans that I had in mind. I made a few kind of mistakes, I guess, where I'm like, oh, this could be improved, this could be changed. So I'm going to be still building something I haven't really fully seen yet, but I wanted to be upfront about it because basically it's like, yeah, I have technically now seen the fuel generators and I have a rough idea in mind. I used to do this all on paper, but it's getting so complicated now that I haven't been able to even do 3 episodes a week. Like I said, I spent 8 hours just planning this thing out, not even building it. So maybe I'm just slow or terrible, I don't know, but hopefully at least saves you guys the time of like trial and error, me removing things, making tons of mistakes. That's at least the goal. But I'm never going to cheat in the game where I give myself anything or anything like that. Don't worry. It would ruin the game for me. Anyways. But I am going to sometimes look ahead and see, like, you know, how big's a building? What does it take to make it? Can I get everything ready before doing that? And do a little bit of a planning phase of, okay, how will this fit inside of a building? That sort of thing. And I even streamed it, so people could kind of give me tips and ideas and stuff too. Alright, here we are. And the dawn mist looks really, really nice. I keep saying awesome, I don't know why. Alright, let's just hop out. So, in this truck, I've tons of concrete. I basically loaded up all the concrete with me, and in between episodes I visited here, I dumped my whole inventory into here, dumped other bits of concrete and everything else in here as well. So I was thinking what we could do, just before I empty out anything, is hook up some of these new Mark IV belts. There she is, 480 resources a minute. What am I lacking? Oh, I'm lacking concrete. Alright, I'll just pick it out of the back of the truck. Yeah, so basically I've got all of these just sitting up here with nothing in them. I want to transfer all of my resources out of this area, and then I'll start decommissioning the area. Now, I could just run back and forth loading and loading, but at least this way it's sort of automated. And we get to watch things go by, which is nice. So there we go, 480 resources per minute, so we're at almost 1,000 coming out of there. 960 just flowing out. God damn! It's so weird that they're so silent, I guess. But looks good. Very satisfying. Alright, so we're emptying this one out. I'm going to cut off the power here so we don't stop manufacturing new things. And then, basically, now that that's kind of automatically emptying itself out, I am just going to make a container, make a box, dump my inventory into it, and just empty out the other ones as well. Now, people were asking as well, actually, why is my inventory so big? You know, why are the icons so big? And I actually did that to make it more viewer friendly, hoping the idea being that, like, you know, people watch on mobile, people might watch wherever, or just might not have full screen on, or whatever the case might be. And it's just easier for you to see the UI if I've increased the scale, which I have. Now, granted, my inventory's gotten so big I have to scroll a lot. I think it's a small price to pay for having it visually a lot cleaner for a lot of people. But if there's an overwhelming consensus that everyone can see everything fine, and I could just switch to the smaller screen, I would do it, but I don't really mind. I like the big UI. I'd probably use it on my own, even if I wasn't recording. Alright, so that's all of those down. We'll just take down all of these refineries. Good night. We've just got all of that left to get rid of. We also have then, what's in here? Rubber. And then there's loads of fabric in this one. Is that empty now? It's basically empty. Cool. Alright, we'll just ditch this. Throw this into another box. And I just need to clear out the entire area and then we'll start laying out the foundations. So I don't know if I just mentioned it, but I'm going to be building off of 2 crude oil deposits. Because even though I've looked ahead a little bit, I still don't know what's really lying ahead for me. I haven't looked at trains or anything like that, and I can't even imagine dealing with that now. For the next few episodes, we're going to be building this place, I think. And I think it's going to be great. I think people are really going to like it. Genuinely, I think it's going to look really good. It's my most ambitious build yet. But not just that, I'm going to try and make it look quite nice. That's why we've gone for some of those extra aesthetics in the awesome shop. But anyway, yeah, so I'm basically going with 2 crude oil deposits instead of the 4 that we could use. There's 4 up here in total. I'm just going to climb this and then I can look at everything. There we go. Alright, let's just get rid of all of this can basically go. Good night. We'll build all new foundations and stuff. So I'm just holding control, obviously, just to tag as much of this stuff as I can. You can only do 50 at a time. Boop. Let's get those last little bits. So yeah, with 2 oil deposits, the crude oil is going to be... I'm just using the normal deposits, and I'm not going to be overclocking them, so I'm not getting anything... I'm not going crazy with it just yet. We should be looking to get about, I think, roughly 1,200 megawatts of power out of this, and then 24 packaged fuel on the side. We're also going to be producing plastic and rubber, I think somewhere around 54 plastic per minute, something like that, and I want to say 40 rubber per minute. So that's all we're going to be getting out of this place, but we're going to be getting, like I said, 1,200 power. So that's really the main thing. Then we're going to be able to hopefully use that plastic and start making a kind of a truck depot, a pickup spot, and a drop-off spot to then make an actual circuit board factory and whatever other factories that we've kind of left by the wayside and we've been using manual construction for. That's my kind of overall plan. So we're just going to get rid of all of the foundations on this side, and then I'll start building out from the other foundations. Alrighty. I was planning on building... So basically, people actually pointed out to me that there's crude oil over there, crude oil right here, over there, and there's actually another one over here. And when I first did my scan, that one didn't show up, but it is showing up now. I don't know if that's the update that fixed that or what, but it is showing now. There is a crude oil deposit right there. We're going to be using these 2 that are on this side of the sort of island. Alright, so our fuel is loaded as well. Everything's all good. Now, this foundation is my marker. This is where we're starting from. Now, it's actually a little low. A mistake I made in my initial attempt to record this episode. This is my second attempt. But this should be fine now. It was actually initially low. So, knowing where we need to start is the main issue. There we go. And what we're going to use, actually, as well, for the first time... Let me just go foundations. We're going to be building grip metal foundations. I think these are going to look better because we're going to go out to the water quite significantly. And this is going to have to be a 9x5. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where we're coming out to. I'll get rid of this as well. And then, of course, we have those boxes over there. Sorry, I should just get rid of everything first before running back and forth like crazy. And then this tree and that bush need to go. Do I have what I need to get rid of it right now? Nope. So let me just access some, either get biofuel or an obelisk. I should have had some. There we go. Right next to the fuel deposit there. That's no problem at all. Alright, great. So that's the area pretty much clear. Do I need to get rid of this one? I think so, yeah. Alright, great. Alright, the area is basically clear. We're just going to try and remove these boxes now, and that'll be the last thing to get out of this area totally. So just bear with me while I try to load these up in containers. Then I'll have to sort my inventory. I really just need concrete. We're going to go to-do list by to-do list, you know, bullet point by bullet point, doing foundations, all the foundations first. No stop starting and doing little bits here and there. I want to do this efficiently. We're on the clock. Being paid by Fixit. Alright, so 9 across is what we need to do now. This is our first room. What this room will eventually become is a truck depot station. Okay, so just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 by 9. That's what it is. Well out in the water as well. Alright, that's our first area. Let's do materials, grip metal, and just coat that as well. Nice. Okay, so that's the first room, 9 by 5. The next one is going to be an 11 by 11. And it's starting roughly here. So just go all the way up to 10. All the way up to 10. And that's 11 there. I think I've done that right. Looks like it's actually one longer than it needs to be, but I'll just double check later. It's fine. Alrighty, so that's the foundations all leveled out, and that's the size of the place, at least that I've mapped out and that I think I'm going to be using. So let's toggle off foundations. I've decided to paint it all metal as well, just so that it's actually easier to count, you know. With the concrete, it can be a little confusing sometimes. This makes it much more grid-like, but that's not the only reason. Like I said, it's going to be the lower level floor anyways, and that's really going to be housing a lot of the pipelines and stuff like that, so it can look kind of cool, especially out by the water. I think it just makes a bit more sense rather than having concrete. I don't know. I think it'll look nice anyway, and it should break up the big concrete walls that we're going to have too. So the next thing is doing the walls. So this is where we're going to actually define the room space. So I don't know, do I need to jump down? Maybe. Yeah, let me just hop down here real quick. I think I'll probably start up. Yeah, the best place to start is actually up by the longest room, which is going to be this one over here. This is where all the fuel generators are going to go. And it comes all the way out to here. So this is going to be hallway, and this is where that room starts. So we can start putting down walls. So we're going to use the new wall I just got, the steel wall. And that can basically go in a super straight line down that way, I think. So let's just do that. And then up here, we're going to have concrete foundations above it. And they're going to be coated concrete and just one layer thick. This will be our walkway. Nice. Coated with a lovely plastic film. Just because. So then we need walls wrapping all the way around. So we're going to go with the metal walls on the bottom floor. And then concrete walls all the way around otherwise. Is that right? 17 by 6. Yes, sir. This can come all the way in as well, I think. These rooms are separate from each other. They should be. Did I keep fuel in my inventory? Yeah, so I can just fly. Make sure I can get out of these places. Alright, nice. So there we go. It's the first room. So just picture, like, massive generators lining this room, either side of it. As tempting as it is to start that right now, I'm not going to do it. We're just going to do the walls, stick to the plan, and not get confused and sidetracked. So that's the regular wall. Then we're going to have the concrete wall that just wraps around it. And these walls are pretty tall. I'm not sure exactly how high, but I want to say it's something to the range of like 6 in height. We'll just wrap it around a couple times. And that'll give us the general idea of what's going on in here. And then we're going to put glass foundation or glass frames in between them, hex frames and stuff like that, but also nice windows. I've decided what I think might look good is having hex frame windows facing outside, because they look a bit more structural, and then the full frame window, which is just like a blank glass wall, you know, inside. So the full frame window inside. Alright, so that's good. That's good enough. We can obviously raise the walls further if we want to. But this is just to kind of block off the rooms and say, like, yeah, this is a room, XYZ, you know? So that gives us a nice indication of where this room is. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is 1, 2 here, cut. And that can let us in. Oh, yeah. Yes. So we're going to be offset. We're offset, baby. And the way we're going to do that is have a doorway here and glass either side. It's going to look good. Hopefully we'll be able to show that soon. Should be able to show it this episode. Just want to get the walls right for the other one. So the other one should just be... Let me just count on my piece of paper. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4... I think it's 10. think it's all the way down. I think this is just one room. Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. So just wall this all the way down here. And then we just need to get the metal foundations in and around the bottom. And like I said, in future, if we add more, this should be kind of a capable, this building should be capable of expanding without having to redo the whole thing. At least that's my hopes. Because we're going to have 3 giant fluid buffers in here for crude oil. So everything's going to come out of the buffers. And the only issue with that is long term, like really long term, if I'm overclocking the machines that make the crude oil. At the moment, all these machines are running. If we crude oil everything, all the pumps, then we'll have 600 coming in if we activated them all. I'm only activating 2 of them. 600 can be carried by 1 pipe, so that'll all be fine with this one facility. But if I ever go beyond that, in this place, things might have to be redesigned a bit. But for now, that should be fine. Alright, we're getting through the concrete as well pretty quickly. Let's just go 3 high. I know it will need to go higher than this, but this is good enough to just delineate where the walls are going to be. Now, this place is a bit weird for entrances. We'll probably end up building multiple ways in. And I'm going to use that glass frame foundation thing to do that. Alright, we'll leave it there. So that's those rooms kind of ready to go. They're going to have to be opened up at some point. We'll just keep an opening here just so I know. Nice big open plaza for us to work with. So, the next room. This one is a weird one too. And in fact, I think I might have laid it out slightly wrong. No, I think it's right. Okay, fine. Yep, it's right. So let's just get these. It's gonna have to go all along down the bottom. Now I'll probably end up deleting some of that so I can lay out the pipes. But I also want to use floor wall holes for the pipes, so that'll make sense. Okay, so yeah, let's get this wall in. Something like this, I guess. I think. I think it's like that, and then it'll just cut across. This room can change completely if I want to. This one's a real weird one. I should actually start down here, because these rooms are a bit more set in stone, what I'd like to do with them. So this will be like I said, the place where people drive in. So this is going to be a ramp in future. And it's a 3x5, right? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Let's grab that wall. Let's just line it here. Now remember, the windows are going to go in here eventually. So this area can just get rid of that. People had said I should use a 3-lane highway, so I've made this 3 wide because of that. This is going to be asphalt. So this is where cars and stuff will drive in. And then we want to switch that to a ramp. So let's go... Losing my mind. There we go. Ramp. Good. This is where people will drive in. There will be a truck depot thing roughly around here to pick stuff up coming out of the factory. This will be an actual entrance. It's not the best entrance, I'll admit, but it's the best I got for now. Let's just fly for a second. So I'm now out of plastic. Alright, we'll have to just go grab plastic really quickly. Please tell me we have some. If we don't, I can use regular concrete and just coat it later, I guess. There we go. So this will be a walkway that leads kind of out, and then this will be the doorway out, the building. And that'll just need stairs to get us in and out. Nice to see all this new stuff. Cool. catwalk stairs. We'll just rotate this. Might improve the entrance over time or something, do something else with it, but for now, you know, this will be fine. In we go. So there should also then be a doorway, I think roughly here. And these will be windows. Yeah. So this will be just a wall that goes all the way around, basically. These will turn into windows at some point, but for now, we'll just wall it all off. Alright, walls are almost done. Almost done. So, that's a 3x5 room. This is supposed to be an 8x5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess I didn't do the foundation quite right over that side. So I think it's supposed to keep going. I think so, anyway. Can always change it if it's not working out. No big deal. Oh my god. Whoop. Alrighty. So there we go. 8x5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's actually 5x8, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, I want to say there. Yep. That's where that room basically ends. So I think this is the weird bit that needs to kind of come out. Yeah, there's something really not adding up there, but I'll just fix it later. I'm a bit confused by that. Doesn't really matter. I just don't remember seeing like this little weird bit that juts out. It should be pretty even-sided, but it doesn't really matter. And yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of grass creeping in. I can't do anything about that. To keep the whole place level, it'll be okay. But this is, like I said, the bottom floor. It's not as important as this floor here. It's more like a logistics floor in a way. And then this is just gonna be, yeah, just a wall. Pretty much a straight up wall and window. Alright, cool. Alright, I think that basically gives me what I need now to just start working on this and filling up the rooms. So we can do the generator room next, which is the most exciting room, because we get to put down all the big buildings and big new generators. But we won't be able to fill it for a while until we get all the refiners up and running. Nothing will turn on until it's all in place. So this is just a wall here as well. Okay, just trying to see. Yeah, it looks about right. Part of the fun of it not being the exact same as I remember it is I gotta think of my feet. Make sure we get it right. Okay. So it looks super ugly and concretey now. Trust me, we'll have windows and stuff here. And I'll actually do the first bit of windowing on the other side now. Because we're gonna start with the generator room. So that's where this area ends. So into this room at the back here is gonna come in the other oil from across the way. So just leave it like that. Let's get this to be at least the same height, and then we can tick it off the box and say, yeah, we basically did it. Let's bring that to here. Bring that up. Alrighty, there, I'll just take a breather for a second. It's a lot of walls, I understand. But things are in place now. So, let's get started. Let's call that the walls done. And I can always look at my reference blueprint and my notes if I need to change anything. But it seems basically how I remember it, so, or how it should be. Okay, so in here is going to be where all of the things get made. So I'm just going to queue them up. Sorry, the power comes on, I should say. So there's the fuel generator. Now, something I never planned for is power storage. So I'm going to add that in and see if we can fit it in somewhere that would make sense. Be good to have a couple batteries, maybe 3 or 4 even. Discharge rate is unlimited. That's interesting, so it can use all the power it needs. So just to make sure I have everything in my inventory for that, I've just added it to the to-do list. So I need motors, rubber. I have the heavy modular frames, and we have the computers already. Sweet. Lost all momentum. Alright, cool. Alrighty. So, motors. Well, that's rotors. I'll just take them in case I need them. Motors, 120. Okay, that's good. And then rubber. Copious amounts of rubber. Alright, cool. Let's get building. That's so good being able to fly. Alright. Generator room. There's a few different things I want to do with this. Something I should have picked up actually as well as silica. Yeah, I'd like to do that first so you can kind of get an idea of something cool that I've got. I don't know if... I've never seen anyone do this. I'm sure someone must have because it seems pretty basic. I did it by accident and I was like, this looks awesome, so I want to do it in future. But I'm looking for silica. Silica, silica, silica. There we go. 1,000 silica in this. I think that's all I need. Basically, I want to make those window frames. I need steel beams. Is there any extra steel? There's a little bit more in here. That should be enough. I'm actually quite low on that generally. I might have to run back at some point and get that stuff. Okay, so basically, when I was messing around trying to center this room and thinking like, how can I have it so there's a walkway going this way? I decided like, oh yeah, you could use the old road barrier trick, right? Pop it right around here. I think the best way of doing it is just getting rid of this bit, popping a barrier right underneath, and then building the foundation off of the barrier. So we want the... I want the glass foundation. Where do we see that though? Let me just search for it. There it is. Yeah, so that's coming in at the height we need, and it's coming in offset, you know? It's not on the world grid. As you can see, it's coming right down the middle. And that's just going to go straight down. Now, underneath this, I'm going to have piping and things like that. And that's after using even more steel beams. Looks good, though. I actually like that it's kind of dirty. You see these, like, scratch marks and stuff. Makes it look more lived in. So, while I was doing that, this is what I did to mess things up by accident. Let's just get rid of this. Let's try out the full frame window. So if the frame window, if I aim at that, I can put it in the center. Alright, so that's fine. And then we can go like this. Right, so they're off center, right? They're not touching the edges of the wall. It looks a bit weird. You can get rid of the one in the center because that is going to be a doorway. So this is when I was trying to match things. And then what I ended up doing was this. And now we've effectively got what looks like thinner windows. How good is that? Now there has to be people that have done that. It's not some breakthrough. But when I did it, I was like, oh, the windows, they don't clip. But if you do it with walls, they'll like flicker. But the windows just like blend seamlessly. So I love it. So I'm going to be using this throughout. And then as we come in, we'll have our glass flooring here. Excelente. Right? So, I need to leave some space, I think, around here. Because I want to have a place I can adjust the valve that brings in all the fuel. Is that in this room? No, sorry, that's in the crude oil room. This room's fine. The valve will be in a different room. Yeah. Okay, well, let's just have a look at power then. So, what we could have is something like the power storage units in the corners. That might be kind of cool. It needs wire. We have wire up here with us as well. It's no big deal. So the generators, there we go. So these things are going to be a bit of a nightmare to get right. I might have to get some height. And from up here, maybe I'll just build some walkways or something. Should be able to lay them out pretty straightforward. Oh, the music just decided. Oh, no, it's back. Alright, fuel generator. It's a chonky building. And you can push it right back against the wall or have it come forward. I'll just put it there and see. That means its back is touching the wall. That's totally fine by me. Gives it more space at the front. I'm just trying to see the actual grid layout. If it touches the wall like that, so it's 2.5 grids. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Nice. That's weird the way when I fly up here the music goes off. But also, I think it doesn't actually take a full... Yeah, it can be placed there. It can have a gap either side of it. And that's what this one has. It has a gap either side, right? It's not touching the wall, I don't think. Just in case it is. It's important that I get this right first time, so then the other ones line up correctly, right? Yeah, so that's fine. I don't know why it has a straight line coming out the bottom. I've got nothing there connecting, but that seems right. So that's 2. So we're going to have 8 of those. 8 in total. So just while we're up here, let's just build... I don't know. Architecture, looking for the catwalk. Let's just build the non... Yeah, that one. Alright, great. Just use this. Just build these evenly spaced. 8 in total. Like I said, there was room for 10, but I think I'll put the batteries at the bottom instead. I've never done that before, but that should work. Yeah, looks good. Good. So there we go. That's 8 on that side, or sorry, 4 on that side. Then we just have to duplicate it. And we could just make sure it's lined up pretty straightforward. So we just know back against the wall, like that. And then it just has to line up with the one right across from it, so straightforward enough. And then we can give everything a nice color. I probably won't do the coloring until the end, but I was planning on doing red for these. I think that could look kind of cool. And then the fuel pipes will be red. I know fuel is kind of like an orange color in game, but I was going to use the accent color of the pipes to be kind of an orangey gold. I'll use crude oil to be black. Alright, so yeah, see, that left just enough room to have like another one of these, basically, with a gap for walking at the end. But I've decided now that this building could come shorter, but I'll probably put like batteries and stuff down here. Okay, I don't think I'll need to be up here again, at least not for a while, so let's just get rid of this. Is that alright? Okay, so here's what we're kind of, you know, here's the first little bit of shape. Or here it is taking shape, I should say. First time we can kind of get a feel for it, right? So we'll be coming along. Nice little window frames. Coming this way, there'll be a sign, I'm sure, over the door. And then we've got just generators all the way through. And what's going to happen is we'll get the pipes to come in this way. So let's get... Oops. Let's start laying out the pipes already. We're going to do this generator room in totality before we do the other ones. So we have our clean pipes now as well, which I'm going to use. And then we have valves, pipe wall hole. So let's get the wall hole right there. Actually, while I'm doing this, I just realized we could color the pipes without the effort of having to do it in future. I'll make a custom... Everything's going to be pretty much a custom swatch. I'm happy enough with this color. I don't think this is actually going to be used, but that's the color I want. So I'll do this. I'll right click. We'll go pipes. So now when I place down pipes, they should be that color by default. So pipeline wall hole. Well, that was unexpected. It came out black. What was that? Pipes. Okay, maybe it's bugged. I don't know. Pipeline swatch. Yeah, it's toggled. So once you toggle it once, that's supposed to be it. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's because it's a clean pipe. They haven't done that yet. I don't know. Let's test it actually. Just what if I did a regular pipe? Yeah, why is it black? I don't know. All right. Well, I guess I'll just color everything on my own. So what we need is the pipe cross junctions, just right down the middle, and we need 4 of those. Hang on a second, I see a grave error here. Those are too far back. I'll have to move them forward. This is right at the edge of the... Did I clip through? Oh, I did. Oh, goddamn. That's so annoying. Oh, well. I'll fix it. Hey, fix it. I get it. I get it now. It all makes sense. Let's just grab this one. Orientate this one to be in position correctly. So that would clip through. That says it wouldn't, but it needs to be further forward to there. That's all. It was just one tile off. No big deal. Just line the other ones up now. Ah. There. Okay, cool. Got it. At least I didn't color them. That's one reason I don't think I should be going around coloring anything, because if I have to move things, everything needs to be changed. Alright, great. Nice. So yeah, let's just extend this further. I want to turn it sideways as well. It's got like this line going through it. I prefer to aim that way. And then what we'll do is go with railing either side of it. That could look quite nice. Organization, is it? Nope. Architecture. Industrial railing. Just bring the rails all the way down that way. I hate to be so annoying, but I gotta move this down one. There's another thing I forgot that I want to do, which is I should have left a gap here, one gap here. And the reason for that is I want to put lights, like light switches and just things for this room in there. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You could have the switch somewhere else. A lot of people are saying, like, why don't you put the switch, all the power switches in one big location? That would be nice, but my god, it's so difficult to get, like, all the wiring and stuff correct. So I'm just going to have at least the light switches in here. So I'll just make another cut. I'm just going to move everything down one tile. You've seen me place these now. I think you get it. I'm just going to move it down one kind of tile. Alrighty, after a painstaking back and forth, moving things, deleting, etc., I finally got it all to line up, I think, correctly. So now, basically you'll just place in the pipes. So I've freed up this side and that side, respectively, so that we can maybe put things in there like light switches or something else. I'm thinking I'll have probably a valve here so that I can actually see how much is flowing into this area properly without having to run downstairs every time, and then have a stairwell that goes down, or just bring this foundation out further and have a light switch kind of thing in there. Oh, nice. It's getting bright. So, yeah, let's continue. So, speaking of valves, we want to basically put valves... That's weird. This just shows how many failed attempts I've had down here. I want to be putting valves either side of these machines. And the reason for that is because it just allows you to control the amount that goes into it. I know that we only need 12 going into each machine. So we're just going to lock a valve on it that says 12. 12 is the maximum you can have, you know. The reason being, you get a lot of sloshing in these pipes, especially when you're doing a sort of a manifold thing, right? We're full, you know, feeding water or oil all the way, fuel really, all the way down these pipes, and they're getting distributed here. But a lot of it might just go into the first machine. This way, with valves, we can say, no, only send in 12 per machine. It is a lot of valves, though. I don't know if other people do this or not, but it seems to make the most sense to get things up and running as fast as possible, and also prevent things swishling around. To put valves on every time you have a junction, basically, you should be popping down a valve, I think. At least for my kind of trial and error gameplay when building this area, that seemed to work the best for me. Sorry, it's annoying that I have to kind of duck and dive underneath these the first time, but once it's set, we can kind of leave it. Oh, I'm too fat. I can't even just do that. Ugh. Alright. Valve. Yeah, it keeps doing that. It keeps shoving me into the side. Oh well, not a big deal. Alright, cool. And eventually, I'll probably color those valves different as well. It can make it stand out a little bit, make it look kind of cool. Is that the last one? I think it might be. Yep. Alright, let me just get some get around this way. Okay, so basically we just access the valve. This is the flow rate. It says 300. I've never seen it say 600, but I guess I don't think I've ever put it on a 600 pipe. That might be what's the determining factor. 12. Alright, 12 for each. Do the same over on this side. And we just do this all the way up. And that way we guarantee that no more, or at least basically no more. Sometimes it's like a little bit every now and then. But basically no more than 12 goes into each machine, which is what they need to produce their energy. I've noticed that you can actually overclock the fuel generators, but it seems weird. When I was testing that out, I could maybe do it when we get them up and running eventually, but when I was testing it out, it just seemed like you don't get as much power as you should. It says something like the target power rate is, let's just say, I don't know, 300 as opposed to 150, but it'll end up going to like 240 and never going higher than that, even when it's saturated with fuel. Like, it's not like it's lacking anything. So I'm not really sure what that is, and then you're kind of like getting diminishing returns for the amount of fuel you're putting in, I guess. So that's why I thought maybe that's not a good idea to do that. I don't know. Alright, that should be all of the valves in place. At least for that row. So I'll color the pipes soon enough, but we should have a kind of a reddish pipe down here, and then yellow valves and yellow joints sending them to each side. And then these are going to be kind of red. They'll basically look like this. Well, really like that. That's the idea. We'll have these big red kind of looking things, and then we can have red railings as well. Alright, cool. So, what I could do, like I said, is just split this off, rotate it around and bring it up. Maybe I'll save that for a bit later. Is this the end of the generator room? Not really. We still got other things to do. So, I'm going to start using the new painted beam. Oh, wow, I'm really low on steel beams, actually. I'm going to have to go get some. But I was going to do this with them. And just travel them all along here to create a sort of a thicker serrated edge. It's not really serrated, but kind of. All along here. And then what I was probably going to do is add the power lines along this thing. So that it kind of looks like it's a housing for the power lines. That might look better, and it'll keep power kind of neat also. This can go all the way down to 40 meters. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go get more steel beams. So basically the power comes out of... I don't have any cable with me. Right there. So, I don't know. Maybe we could have another strip going along. At an even height to this. And that way they'd all just attach to that. That would look quite cool, I think. And I'm planning on having floodlights and stuff up on the walls. To make that look... To brighten up the room when it all gets encased. And having a big roof on this. The roof I'm going to cut short just a little bit below the chimney stacks. And then have a sort of a housing for that on the outside. Now, I've actually been recording for an hour and 10 minutes. And then I did a failed recording, like I said, for about 20 minutes. When I messed up the foundations completely. So I'm unfortunately going to have to like make a weird cut here. I have to go get food. There's like a food truck that's comes by once a week. It's fish and chips. And I like my fish and chips. So I'm just going to take a break. I'll come back and we'll resume building. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I've had my fish and chips. It was quite nice. It's actually kind of rare that I have it in these parts, even though I am in the UK. It's a food truck that kind of comes by this estate every now and then. And they didn't come by for like 2 months, saying that they weren't doing enough business, basically. But then it was basically like a little local petition to bring it back. And they came back and there was like big queues outside of it this time. So that's good. But they say they're going to come by every second week now. But yeah, I don't drive, so it's not easy for me to go into a town or something and get good fish and chips where I live. So anyway, what I'm doing is I've just gone and picked up all the extra steel beams I needed, and then also I've loaded up with extra wire and stators to build the batteries. And at least for the end of this episode, I'd like to just get this room done. So what I'm doing is building the steel beam trim to the walls. Then I'm going to hang the, I guess, power poles or the wall bracket pole things, whatever they're called, the sockets. Going to hang them off of this, and that way it'll look a little bit neater, but it also breaks up the monotony of just a giant grey concrete wall, which obviously I'm no stranger to. We'll just bring that to there. So this one needs to continue along as well. Gonna actually bring it all the way inside, touching the very edge here. Might just continue start from over this way. There. Now you could actually use a painted beam and paint it a different color if you really wanted it to pop. I'm not going to go that advanced just yet. I think just the regular metal will look just fine, but I might experiment with it in a few of the other rooms. And then I've got a kind of a cool layout, I think, for the valve for this place, the pipes coming in. It'll make sense when you see it. Or when I start doing it, I guess. It'll make a lot more sense then. Alright, cool. This just needs to extend all the way down as well. And that'll be it. There we go. I'll just get it to join up with this little buddy here. There. Ooh, not liking that. Tiny little seam. Can we get rid of it? Guess we could overlap. I don't know what would happen then if it would look weird if it's clipping. It's there, but it's really hard to see, so I'm okay with it. Alright, cool. Alright, let's just fly out of this little patch. So that's the kind of metal trim all around the area. What I was thinking of doing here is just, I need to raise this up one. So we'll just get this, go into Zoop, bring it all the way across. It needs to be 5 across. So that's fine there. And we'll just cut this away, and this, and this. We can extend the window up. Alrighty, so very tall, but that's the height of the whole building basically up to there. So it's 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it needs to go even higher, really? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Oh god. Alright, let's do that then. I counted 5 and I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. Alright, let's do the window first, I guess. If it turns out to be too high, it does seem pretty high. If it turns out to be too much, we could also just get rid of that layer. Yeah, I mean, they are tall buildings. It's basically I mean, the chimney stacks are going to creep through the roof, but the refineries are quite tall as well, so it's kind of a building to house all of that stuff. It might not look so bad when the lights are all on and everything. Alright, speaking of, let's just extend this wall all the way out. Raise this up as well, because we want to build floodlights onto the upper layer. And then I'll start doing the pipes next. Cool, and we can put some windows and things in here. This one's facing inwards, so maybe just windows on the other side. But not too much, because if it's totally unsymmetrical, it might be a bit weird. Windows at the very back would be cool. Yeah, we could do this, actually. Oh, I didn't realize we would get rid of the beam, sorry. Let's just go... Not that one, but the hex frames. Yeah. Let's start it up here. Just to let a little light into the room, a little natural daylight, and we can put the things on night mode or something. Alright, cool. Looking good, looking good. So, we have the pipe laid out below us with all the valves attached to all the generators, which is fine, but I want to be able to access the initial flow rate coming into here from this room. Again, if I was super advanced, it'd be really cool to have a big pumping room or a pump station that could deal with all the valves, and you could just adjust them. Maybe they'd have the name of the room over it. Maybe I'll get there one day. I do like that idea, but I just don't have infinite time to be constantly designing. But this is a pretty good solution, at least to do it room by room. And then when I add the other crude oil, maybe then it'll make more sense to try and do it that way then. So, the plan here, this is going to be a little finicky trying to get this right. But hopefully it'll make sense once I kind of get it down. What I'm trying to do. I'm trying to basically bring the pipe up just a little bit so that we can actually like interact with it. So yeah, what I need to do is cut this. Cut this pipe first. Let's just grab some pipe here. And we'll just bring it all the way out here. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Then we can put our joint right in around here. I want it to be right in front of the place where we're walking in, so next to the foundation in the top right. So we'll just pop it right there. That's totally fine. We can cut this. Yeah. Okay, let's join this. Bring this all the way out as well. Doesn't really matter again. We'll be cutting it away. We're going to have another one then. This one needs to be aligned on the center point here. Okay. So putting that down first then allows me to snap. I couldn't snap before. Alright. So, here's the weird bit. I think. Hopefully I'll get this right. I think I have to do that and then turn it. Yeah, so now we're facing upwards. but still attached. This needs to go. Ah, it didn't work. I've got an idea then. Let's pop this back. Oh, we can actually just turn it right now. That's good. And it snaps and everything. Something's wrong. It doesn't quite feel right. So I'll leave it where it is. Snap it in like that. Cut this end off. And then that still gives me the distance I need. So I'll just cut it there. Now we can rotate up. Yeah, it needs to come in a bit shorter, actually. So basically, I just want that, but here, you know? I just can't rotate it that way, I don't think. You have to, like, put it on a pipe to make it turn vertical. At least that's the only way I know to do it. But I'll just copy what I did over there, I guess. So we'll copy this, we'll drag this in this way. Cut that, and say, yep, turn sideways. There you go. And now there's a nicer distance between them, and we can just drag it over this way. And there, we get something like that. So this then gives us a nice kind of straight looking thing we can just interact with. Yeah, I guess to be really good, maybe we could be a bit more finicky with it. So let's try this one more time. Nice. Yep, better. And remember, I'm going to rechange the color of these pipes, so that's right there for us. And then we'll just go to logistics, scroll down, we have our valve, turn it this way, and there we go. That head lift shouldn't matter, by the way. It's so low that the initial pumping force of the whatever we're pumping, it's not going to make a difference, I don't think. So we want to get this relatively central, somewhere about there. And we can rotate this then once we click it into place. And there. So let's just clean up this area now. We'll get rid of the things we're not using. Not using that. Yeah, so this is our input. Goes to there, goes up, down, and then back out and around. It is a bit strange, I suppose, but it's just so we can have that visual aid of seeing the valve. And it just makes sense. You know, I think it would be there, you know, as a worker who comes in here. You can just see the pumping rate, see everything. You just check that and you can see where it's going. You can even visually see it when it starts moving. So it's kind of cool. Over here then will be where we kind of have like lights and stuff. So I might just have a little walkway that leads down to it. Nothing too crazy. Could put it in the center. If you put it to the side, it kind of clips through things. And you'd have to use a different railing. Or you could offset the railing, but then it gets messy and you start clipping through each other. I don't know. I'd almost prefer it just to be like this, and just leave it. It doesn't. We don't need necessarily warnings everywhere. Maybe would a road barrier make sense? You could put it. You could put it like there. Nah, I think I'll. Excuse me. Leave it. I think it's fine. So there's no little handrail there, but I think it's fine. You could have two stairs, I guess. Actually, that's really probably the best thing. Although again, it has that little bit of clipping. But if you have a preferred way of doing it, let me know. I loved it in one of the previous episodes. I asked people about that rooftop that was clipping through a splitter. And well, not everyone, but a lot of people were like, yeah, get rid of that. And I never showed it off, but I did. I clipped away the floor, so it made sense. If we ever revisit the motor factory, it'll be there. Alright, cool. So that works. So yeah, this might be where like light switches and stuff go. I don't necessarily have to do the power hooking up thing now. But it would be good to kind of figure out where the wall lights are going to go. So I was going to use the new wall-mounted floodlight. This is the floodlight tower. These are, again, all the lights in the game are massive, whereas these I can just put up like this. Hard to know exactly where they should go, but somewhere like there would probably be good. And you can then rotate and tilt it if you want. I'll probably just leave it the way it is. It seems to be at a pretty decent angle. I think right about there is fine. So maybe every second join? Maybe every third join. And it's on that tier there, right? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, cool. So again, just to make it look a bit nicer, maybe we can snap these in here as well. Yeah, this is looking good. It's coming together, isn't it? I think so. I look forward to seeing what people say about this one. A little awkward in this bit because it's like in behind the light. Maybe if I just run over there, it'll work. There we go. Yeah, and that'll hold the wires for the lights and stuff as well, right? Cool. I have to do it while flying. It's so awkward. Spamming the spacebar. I'm trying to actually look for a keyboard that's a mechanical keyboard but silent. If anyone has recommendations, let me know. There we go. Oh, you could actually bring that across the top if you wanted. So give me a good indication then of where to... Well, I kind of know the line I need to build it. So we'll just start down at the other end. So we start with this join. And we start right there, I think. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So that'll be the floodlights. Now there's going to be ceiling lights as well. At least that's the plan. Let's just extend this all the way out to the edge. Now this is where the batteries are going to go. So I was thinking of turning this sideways and going to the very edge of the wall. Problem is though, because this is offset the center, there's a gap. So I'm going to look at the wall and creep the gap in this way and just join it up. And there'll be a little extra line here, but I don't think, again, being glass, it really matters too much. No, looks good. And if I decide to change it, no big deal. Cool. So the idea then would be batteries. I've never actually built these before. I think they take like an hour to charge or something. I don't know if it's based on the rate of power that you have in excess, but that's what I've noticed from testing. So there's actually a... it's really hard to see. I can't see the top of the building, really. Just trying to get the... Oh my god. I want to see where the power thing is. It needs to be facing the wall. There we go. So yeah, the power outlet. So the power thing, I can't even see it. Where the hell is it? There, that thing. That's what I was talking about. That needs to basically link to the wall, right, as well. And then this one, so tuck them in. But it does mean that I can't necessarily... I mean, I can see the amounts as we creep by them. It would be nice to turn that facing this way, but then the power outlet thing might look weird. I don't know, maybe I should change it though. If we circle it this way and turn, I think that's it. I mean, sure, right? We can then see the numbers. Yeah, the fill rate or whatever it is, the power charge rate. It's so annoying, like, I can't see what I'm doing when I'm putting this building down. Like, I don't know how else I'm supposed to... There we go. See, there's two, so I don't know. There's the power thing. Okay, so rotate this way. Got it. Good. Alright, easy. I guess if you get enough distance, it's not so bad. Yeah. Cool. Alright, great. So that'll be the little batteries, and we'll do the same on the other side. Yeah, this is the thing. So I'll have to put a different railing at the edge here, but no big deal. So I guess the only thing that would fit that, it'd be great if they added a half railing, but this is a half railing. The other thing you could do is just snap this like that. Autosave. But you could do that. Then it's the same railing the whole way out, but you have these lines coming down, you know, because it's just clipping through each other. But maybe that's just the answer. I don't know. Probably better than having a different type of railing all of a sudden. Or I suppose you could have no railing at all. Little ladder, let you to a way to say that you can get down. Little maintenance ladder, you know. that look weird? You'll have to let me know. I kind of like that idea, actually. I'd probably do that, but having 4 of them might be strange. Alright, so, do we have enough to make more of these? We do. Again, I've no idea which way it's facing, so I'll just fly for a second. It doesn't seem like it rotates after I click it, so some things do that, but this doesn't seem to. Why does that look so different to this? What have I done wrong? Nothing, right? No. Okay, good. Alright, so we just need these 2 then. So they're facing the wrong way. I just want to see the top of the building. Like, there we go. Okay. Just face it away from me. Does that work? Yep. Alright, we got it. A little painful, but we got it. 3D building, man. Batteries. So, 8 batteries. We'll hook them all up to all these generators. The pipes are in place. The generators are in place. The batteries are in place. The lights on top are basically done. We do have a little bit left to do. Mostly just putting the roof on this bad boy. So I was going to use the actual roof tiles. Do I have them unlocked? Yeah, roof flat. That's probably just what I'll go with. I mean, it's extremely basic, but and it'll just give us like a little flat top, but I'm not really too sure how else to roof, to be quite frank. And we should have enough to do the whole thing. Alright, cool. Once the first one's down, it should be straightforward from here out. Right, so this is where like I've done this on purpose, so it's just like the chimney stacks come out, and I might do something where I put like I don't know, little barriers around it or railing around it or something, just to say like, you know, it's obviously there on purpose and it's been cordoned off or whatever. It looks more like a chimney rather than just poking through the roof like this. Alright, so that is the roof done. I don't think I'll be changing its color. We're not really going to be seeing the building from up here anyway. It's mostly about being in here. So let's have a look. We come in. This is what it looks like now when everything's turned off. Obviously the lights are off as well. So the only last thing then I think that needs to be placed in here is the ceiling lights. Not sure how often I need to use these, but I'll start it down at the back and rotate it around so the wire's facing away. And yeah, I don't know. Actually, there's a center point there. Maybe I'll look at the center point. Maybe come back times 3 or something, 3 times. So that's 1, 2, 3. So this one? It might be too far. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one. I think that might be it. No, maybe not. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, and then this one. That's the same distance between each of them. They should have like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Alright, cool. So what we can do is just hook those up to each other. Oh, I could have sworn I missed one. It's actually really nice with the roof being black, being basically black. I can't quite see the wires and things I'm putting down. Alright, damn, looks starting to come along, starting to look real nice. So I reckon, I said that they were going to be colored red. I don't think I'm going to move them, so let's start painting things red. Just the fuel generators. The batteries I might do a different color. And then the fuel line is going to be this red color too. Oh yeah, and the stairs. And I want the... No, they're going to be yellow. They need to alternate the color. So everything red is painted red? I think so. Yep. So I'm just going to grab this, copy this, FFB000. I guess I could save presets, actually. I might do that in future, thinking about it. So select that. Let's just alternate. I wish you could just have loads of different things. Is that what this means? Save preset. Doesn't seem like it. It looks like you just load that then, right? Anyway, we got red and gold, so it's easy enough to load it. Alright, cool. Oh, I literally just saved... Oh, I see. I saved one hex color. Fair enough. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So that's all done. So let's just go with... That's going to be yellow. That's going to be yellow. Yellow. Okay, let me think about that. So I want the trim, the kind of joints and the valves to be yellow. We'll see how this kind of turns out, I guess. Alright, cool. Batteries, I kind of want to be like a teal blue or something. I don't know why. I just think that'd be kind of a cool color for them. So eerie with everything turned off. Okay, so the pipe itself needs to be that kind of crimson color, the same as the fuel generators. Doesn't need to be, but I want it to be. Is that it? I think we're basically done. Now I know I could mess with the other swatches and leave them, but I don't know. I don't like those ones because they affect so many things. It's like I want to just have a selection of paints for a particular room and make it all custom. I don't know why I'm like that. Alright, cool. So just red there, red in there, and I think that's it. That's just this last one. No, that's done. Great. Alright, so just take a breather. Take away the UI, pull back just a little bit with the field of view, and we can kind of come in and have a look at what we've done. So we have our shortened windows, which I guess you can kind of see that there is that middle one is like an overlap one because it has it's almost like a different reflection. I don't think it'll really matter when the lights come on and the roof is on top. The reflections will change. We have our coated concrete on the ground, although I plan on darkening that, so we'll get to that in a minute. We have our trim along the bottom, which looks pretty good. We come in, we have all our lights up on top. I actually haven't added the trim to that side, so I have to still do that. We've got our floodlights up on top. We're going to make them a softish kind of purpley color. And then these ones up on top will just be like a warm, regular warm kind of glow. And that's basically it. We'll have to figure out the color for these. But let's just finish off the trim. And then we can really say we're done with this room until just having to hook up power, I suppose. Which I might just do in the next episode or do in between, because getting finicky with wires isn't really something anyone needs to see necessarily, I don't think. But the long and short of it is that I'm going to be putting most of the wall bracket kind of power things on these metal beams. And I guess these can just hook up to each other. I don't really like the way the wire droops down. It's a bit of a shame, but what can you do? I guess you could put, well, let's see how much of a difference it would make. If I have that wall thing in the middle. Yeah, it's not really worth it. Just get rid of that. It's alright. Maybe I'll lower the beam or make a second beam or something for this top layer. And then these need the same thing. So they're going to have their own light switches because they're too far across the room to join with wires. It would just look weird. Oh, I guess you could go across the roof. You'd probably hide them that way. That might not be a bad idea, actually. Maybe I'll put the, like their connections just right up here, and you'd never really see the wire then. And tuck them all, like, behind each thing, and that way the wires between them wouldn't really droop down. They'd be on the roof. Yeah, maybe I'll do that instead. But for the bottom bit, I think it works out really well having the wires, like, right at the back. So it's like, yeah, you just connect to that point right there, basically, and it's as good as it gets. Oh my god. I don't even know where that's gone. I guess this isn't dead and sent. There we go. Okay. That kind of thing, right? And maybe this one could have something in between, because it seems like it sags quite a lot. Alrighty, so that's kind of what it would look like. I mean, that's basically tucked away anyway. We've got our lovely valve here. And that's basically it, you know? So I'll just hook up the power. I mean, I'm not going to hook up full power yet, because obviously nothing's been fed. But I mean, I'll just hook up the wires to everything. And I'll put in some switches and light switches stuff down here, so that we can turn everything on. It'll mostly just stay on the whole time, I think. I'm not going to put any windows in this side. Windows at the back, though, are cool. That's fine. And then hook everything up to the batteries. Other than that, then what we'll have to do in the next episode is work on the refinery. So this is going to be a really big space. I know all the buildings and the layouts that need to be done, though, or at least the chains and the rates of all the buildings and stuff. So that should be relatively straightforward. I mean, there is a lot to put down, I guess. Oh, that's cool. You can see the trim on this side, too. Yeah, I don't know if how that's going to affect things, really, but it should be fine. And then I'll have to figure out where the doors are going to go. I think there's going to be 3 entrances, into that place. And then this could be a window as well, actually, if I want it to be. Just nothing else is going to go here anyway. So lonely. Yeah, it might have something else out here, like a walkway that eventually leads to the deposits or something. But yep, that's going to be it for now. So that is effectively the generator room done. Next is going to be the refiner room. And then if we have time, the packaging room. The packaging room is more than it lets on to be. It's actually the sorting room and packaging room. So I'm going to be sorting out the plastic, rubber, and polymer resin in here. And then it's also going to go into an awesome sink when things get completely backed up, and then fed into a truck depot that connects through a wall over there and into this place. So the packaging room is actually quite a busy room. It's just to package up stuff, not just, and literally packaging fuel as well. So, all right, that's going to be it. I hope people enjoyed it. Super heavy building episode. The next one's going to be like that too. Next couple probably, until we just get this place done. That's going to give us the power then to go out and build like circuit board factories and all the other weird later game factories that you end up building. Alright, that's going to be it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support the channel directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. You'll also get exclusive access to my Discord, where there's dedicated channels for each series I'm doing, and it's a great place just to meet others and make some friends.